All right, everybody, welcome back to the Horseman Football Talk Podcast. This is Brad.
Hefe.
All right, this week we are going to be talking about the Packers and the Bucs. This may be the game of the week right here. The Bucs defense is playing out of their goddamn mind right now. I'm looking at our production sheet here, and I think there's a typo. You have the GOAT versus Tom Brady, and I think you got those switched.
No, there's no mistake there. No.
There's something I wanted to run past you. Okay. I want to get your opinion. And so, did you see what LaShawn McCoy said about Belichick?
No, I didn't.
Okay. I'm going to read this to you. Quote, this is a quote. I'm going to read it word for word. Since Tom Brady has left, they look so regular. Seriously, though, when I watch the tape and I really watch them, they're getting beat up front in the running game, defenders missing tackles. They look bad. They can't do anything on offense. Every coach in the AFC for all of these years, when they had Tom Brady, they're saying the same thing I'm saying right now. Without Tom Brady, Belichick is a good coach. Stop with all this. He's the greatest of all time, because he's really not. And I had the figures. So Belichick's record with Tom Brady was 219 wins and 61 losses. His record without Tom Brady is 71 and 80. So to go back to LaShawn McCoy's point, it might really have a point here. Now, you've heard me say over and over, and I'm man enough to admit I might have been wrong. I think I just said in another video, I've only been wrong twice in my life. This might be the third time. I've said before, don't bet against Bill Belichick. You've heard me say that a lot. But this stat is really telling, and we're not seeing, despite having Mac Jones, who I think is a franchise quarterback, we're still not seeing. I mean, Brady came right in and was making magic, and it just got better from there. We're right here with Mac Jones. We should be seeing that from a Belichick team, and we're not. So, on the other hand, if that's the case, then Brady's better than we thought he was.
Now, my rebuttal to this, playing devil's advocate, okay, is that 71.
I set you up. You know, I set you up.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've done this on okay, all right.
And I've thought about this a lot.
Okay.
That 71 and 80 Bill Belichick record, that was a cherry pick stat, because that, I'm assuming, includes his record as a head coach elsewhere, which I believe was the Browns. And because if you think about when Tom Brady was in New England, when did he miss time? When he was injured, they went 10-6 with Matt Caskett. When he got suspended after Deflategate, they won 3 of those 4 games when Tom Brady was suspended. And then after Tom Brady left, the Cam Newton year, before Mac Jones got there, they had a losing record. So, comes down a little bit. But then, last year with Mac Jones, they have a winning record. So in New England version of Bill Belichick without Tom Brady has still had a pretty high level of success without Tom Brady outside of one season.
Yeah, so Belichick had, it appears, 16 wins over 5 years in Cleveland, which would put the loss total at 55. So 16 wins, 55 losses before he got there. That's pretty significant on that stat. So fair point with that as well. Tom Brady might be the best quarterback to play the game. I just can't shake that. And I'm not here to convince you. I'm not here to argue with you. And I'm not here to, I've got more years watching football than you do. And that doesn't matter, because it still comes down to opinion. But I've watched Marino. I've watched Montana. I have watched a lot of really good quarterbacks, man. And what is still happening is fucking ridiculous. I just can't. The guy just doesn't stop. Apparently he is going to stop. But anyway, this is an iconic game with Aaron Rodgers on one side and Tom Brady on the others. I don't care whether you like him or not. You have to agree, and you do agree. I mean, this is iconic football. This is a kind of stuff that we'll tell whippersnappers in 30 years that we got to watch these two play each other. Can Rodgers overcome this defense enough to counter the Tampa Bay offense?
That's the great question coming in, because the Packers defense this year is supposed to be great too, and obviously week 1 it looked a lot better against the Bears, but that's the Bears. And I wish that this matchup, like you said, that these two going against each other for possibly the last time ever, is like, I can't miss this game. Like this Sunday, whatever I'm doing, I cannot miss this game, because it literally might be the last time we see this happen. I wish that, Rodgers had a more stout offense and he had more weapons. I wish that the entire Bucs wide receiver core wasn't injured. Mike Evans is suspended for this game and he won't be there. So, I wish we were at full strength for this one, but it's still going to be a good game because, you were talking about it's completely opinion of who the GOAT is, because when you talk about it, you put these guys in tiers. Not one guy is better than the other. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, Joe Montana. Those guys are the very tip top. They all make the rest of the team better. The team feels better about the situation because those guys are there, and they work harder because those guys are there. So, this is, GOAT against GOAT. And honestly, I do think Aaron Rodgers and the Packers are going to be able to overcome. I think it's going to be a more low-scoring game than we're used to seeing between these two quarterbacks. We're going to see a lot of plays made by the defense in this one, not solely just because the defense is stout, but just because the offenses aren't going to be as explosive as we're used to seeing. But I think we'll still be able to see Aaron Rodgers in this offense now that they have Allen Lazard and Christian Watson in the fold. We saw what they were going to do with Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon. I just think they have more to offer in this game, going up against the Bucs. So for me, and honestly, I think that they have the advantage at coaching also. So I will be taking the Packers in this game.
So you hung me as I was, thinking about what I was going to say after you said what you wanted to say. I think if the offenses are a wash, I think the Bucs defense is better. They're playing in Tampa Bay, but you got me with the coaching thing. LaFleur and Rodgers appear to be on the same page. As a matter of fact, after a play call last night, Rodgers turned around and pointed at LaFleur and gave him complete credit for the play call, which means Rodgers probably at some level didn't agree with the play call. He may not have protested. We might have thought this is ridiculous, but it worked like they wanted to. National TV, he gives him the props he deserves. So you got me there with Todd Bowles, except for the defense, man. The Miami defense is stout right now. I'm still going to go with the Bucs only because of the home team. I'm washing everything else out. This is going to be a hell of a game. But again, is it going to be low scoring? Is it going to be high scoring? It could be 6-3 or 12-9 or whatever, or it could be 49-42. I have no idea. I just know that I'm going to watch it and find out.
Yeah, this feels to me like a game where we're going to see like both kickers kick like 3 or 4 field goals. One team's going to score 2 touchdowns, the other's going to score 1 touchdown.
Yeah,
that kind of game.
Yeah, a good mix of good offense and good defense. It sounds like.
That's what I would expect.
That's what we're all hoping for.
Yep.